I think oftentimes people have a misunderstanding about what community is. Oftentimes when I walk into an organization, they'll say, oh, we're going out to the community. And I just want to say it is right where you are. That you can't actually go out and find it, that it's actually right here. It's right here in this room for me. It's right in the restaurant. It's who's sitting next to you on the bus. It's literally who lives near you. It's your neighbor. It's your coworkers. And I often say community is home too. Oftentimes we feel like we're not in the community till we've left the front door. And often we have to keep in mind that door opens both ways. We can go out into the community, but we can invite people in. But I think the key is we have to recognize we have this almost unfortunate agenda that we're not there till we leave and we go someplace. But I don't think we'll ever get there. I think we really need to understand it is right where we are. And in turn, once we've slowed down and recognized that, we can then start to see some, I think, really significant, meaningful moments along the way where we actually have personal connection, whether that's a smile or a hello. And along that way, we can now really start to see that community is just where I journey.
Sometimes people with disabilities are supported extensively, so they have supports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and maybe in there some visits with family and a few things with friends. But what happens is that if their life is really made up of paid supports, it's hard to say that they're part of their community or they have a community around them. So we want to look at people having all of it, right? So do they have family involvement? Who are they involved with? What about friends? Are they developed just with other people who are supported, or do they meet a variety of people and then are drawn to certain folks out there and become friends with them? So building community or having people to rely on when things aren't going well, or to give back when it's not going well in your family or friends' lives. How do you contribute to them? How do you make a difference in their lives? So community is really about the people who matter most to us, not artificial relationships.
Often I talk about the fact that it's always, what is community is when we're known, noticed, and missed. Notice that someone sees my face, someone recognizes my face, known my name, and missed, notice when I'm not there. And certainly that can happen within our own neighborhoods. And I always say, why do I want to be known, noticed, and missed? Well, obviously, one, we can have some great connections, relationships, friendships, even a connection within our neighborhood. But the other big one is safety. We are safer when we're known, noticed, and missed. This isn't just for vulnerable people, but certainly when we're supporting vulnerable people, we have to take into that as an account as well. And so I think at any possible time, we need to try and make sure that people are known, noticed, and missed, whether that's just a wave hello at a neighbor, and to continuously recognize that that's a big part of supporting someone who's vulnerable. It's not going to be big things. It's about small and simple connections. Whether I walk into a store and someone says, hello, Kara, those are small things. And I think as professionals, we're often thinking it needs to be big. But oftentimes it isn't. It is that someone noticed me, someone waved at me, someone was chit-chatting about the football game last night. These are simple connections, but they're meaningful. We're often looking for a big solution, but those meaningful connections, I think, is the most powerful way that we can really recognize if someone is really connected to their community or if they're literally just a guest. And oftentimes what can happen is people will just be out doing things. They'll just be out busy, keeping busy, and that's just random activities. Oh, we're swimming here, we're going here, we're walking here. But there's no home base, there's no depth to anything. And I think, again, as in good practice, when we start to slow down and we recognize that actually when I walked here, someone was greeting me and I'll just stop and visit with them, take the time to have those connections and celebrate along the way when things are going that way, when we do have a chance for people to really just connect and wave at their neighbor.